Yes.
Okay, so my presentation today is called Upper Hands or Little Hearts. I think I chose this title, although it doesn't show what's the content, but I think it's very important that we have our hands on our little hearts or our little students or children, because they trust us a lot and they need our support all the time, and to give them the time, our time, to listen to them and to concentrate on all the issues they are passing through. Our objectives, it will be identify the meaning of bullying, types of bullying, reasons of bullying, the effect of bullying, and how to stop bullying. Okay, but before I start, I just want to make a simple activity as an ice break. I'll give you, here you can see many questions. I just want to tell you something. If you want to answer, please, or you want to add anything, or you want to ask a question, just raise your hand. So here you have different questions. It's like an icebreaker to know you, and we get familiar to each other. So whoever wants to answer, choose a question, and you have you can answer it. So anyone is interested to choose one of the questions and answer it? Okay. Okay. I'll move on. I'm sorry, there's a problem. It's here. Okay. What is bullying? I know that we all know this word, and we listen to this word a lot in Arabic and in English, in every place, in here in Egypt, in different countries. We can see, hear the word bullying. And bullying, it's not only between children, or it's not only between students. It could be between grown-ups, it could be between teachers and students, students and teachers, brothers, sisters from one family. So bullying is a simple word that has a very difficult or disastrous effect in every place, and in everyone. So what's bullying? Bullying is, as we know, it's not acceptable, it's not cool, and it's not okay, because no one deserves to be bullied. Okay, and so bullying is someone who is hurt by unwanted words or action. Bullying, it could be verbal, it could be physical abuse, verbal abuse, and it has the same effect, that it hurts the one who is bullied. It could be more than once, and has higher time stopping what's happening to them. These people who are being bullied, they find it difficult for them to stop the bullying, and it has negative impacts on them, and for those who are bullied and for those who are bullying. Okay, as you see here in the picture, it's normal. I think we see this picture everywhere, in the street, in the school, in the club, among our families. We can see such a situation. Okay, sorry. Okay. Types of bullying. There are many and different types of bullying. It's the physical bullying. It's like kicking, hitting, tripping, biting, like you see in the picture, verbal, it's like saying bad words, insulting, humiliating, disgrading, social bullying, which is such as, for example, spreading rumors. And this is the most dangerous sort of bullying, which is spreading rumors on someone, to say lie things that is not true, and the people believe it and they act according to what they heard without investigating, without asking or questioning the one who is in charge. Damage to property of the victim, it causes damages. So as we said, that bullying has many types, and I tried as much as I can to minimize the types for these only 4 types. Okay, reasons of bullying. There are many reasons of bullying that the people who bullied others, I said, wherever they are, grown-ups, wherever they are, teachers, siblings from the same family, there are many reasons for bullying. Number 1, it could be because they do want to dominate and improve their social status. They want to be in charge. They want to have the upper hand. They want to be. They act in a bossy way. So that's why they bully the others. Sometimes they have low self-esteem, which is, we think that, how come they have the power to insult others, they have the power to hit others, so how come they have low self-esteem? Yes, they have low self-esteem. They don't have confidence on themselves, so they are trying to hurt others to show that they have the power, or they are brave. Okay. Having a lack of remorse or failing to recognize their behavior as a problem. Okay, they don't admit that they have a problem, and the problem is that their parents, they don't admit the problem themselves. The problem is with the parents before the child or the student or whoever bullying others. The parents are the reason, because they don't admit that their son or their daughter, she has or he has a problem, so, and they need to be fixed. And sometimes parents praise their children all the time. You're the best, you are the most beautiful girl in the class, you are more beautiful than your sister, you are more, stuff like this, which makes them more arrogant. So they feel that they are over the people, and that's why they treat them this way. Sometimes they feel angry, frustrated, or jealous, and we have to stand in front of this reason. It means that sometimes they are victims. They are victims because of the community, because of the parents, because of the family, because of the school. Maybe they have been bullied before and no one listened to them. They don't find the support, they don't find someone to listen to and to help them. That's why they started to bully others. Another reason, it could be struggling socially. As I told you before, it could be from the house. Parents, they have parents, there are problems between the parents. It could be the father always insulting the mother, or he hits the mother, treating her in a very bad way. Sometimes it could be the mother lies a lot. The mother, she acts not in a proper way. She doesn't act in a disrespectful way sometimes. And we thought as parents or as teachers that they are not that smart enough. They are still young. They won't notice. They won't pay attention for this. They are not smart enough. No. Students or children, they are very smart, and they can understand everything quickly. And they know if there is a problem at home, they know that there is a problem at home, if there is a problem at school, and they find that nobody from the people surrounding them are not helping, however they are increasing the problem, that makes them more angry, and they feel hate inside. They feel hating the community, hating their lives, and that's why they think that they are taking revenge from everyone around them by being by bullying them. As I told you, being the victim of bullying themselves. It means that they could be being bullied before and nobody listened to them, nobody supported them. And so they decided to take revenge by bullying others as well. Bullying and the power of abuse. Okay. Of course, we know that bullying can lead to many problems, such as anxiety, depression, stress, anger, and low self-esteem. And of course, we can say that all these are normal feelings. All of us, we can face these feelings. Even the students or the children, they can feel these feelings. But we don't appreciate these feelings. We don't appreciate what they are passing through. Some effects of bullying. The student or the child, we can find the child feeling afraid all the time, stressed or depressed or anxious. He sometimes have thoughts about suicide or hurting themselves. And by the way, I have here in this point, I have a personal experience, not with me. One of my students in the school, she's been bullied by her friends. She was in grade 7, okay? And she's been bullied by her friends for a long time. And we tried to talk to her colleagues. They said she's not a nice girl, she's boring, she always teases us, she always do, and so and so and so. But we tried to tell them that what they are doing is not right. What did she do? She intended to hurt herself to let them pay attention, to attract their attention, to let them focus on her or to see her in a different way. So she used to bring the cutter or the knife and cut her arms and cut her legs. It wasn't a severe injury, but she used to do so many times. And the problem is that she showed these injuries to her mother, and her mother didn't pay attention to it. And she just told her, you have to take care of yourself. Don't do this. This is wrong. She didn't even pay attention or focus on the problem. And when the girl or the student came and talked to me, I was really surprised. I told her, how did you do this? Miss Marwa, come on, I'm doing this just to make them feel sorry for me and to love me and to do blah blah blah. When we called the parent, the mother didn't accept what we're saying, and she didn't accept what we are saying about her daughter. She didn't admit it. And now the girl, she is treating she went to psychology, and he is trying to treat her. So this is this is a life experience I have faced by myself, because one of the effects of bullying. Okay, another effect of bullying is trouble. They have trouble with their schoolwork. They don't have the enthusiasm to study. They don't want to go to school. They don't have motivation. They lose passion to study. They lose passion that they want to be a successful boy or a successful girl. They don't have the ambition. Okay, have problems with mood, energy level, sleep, and appetite. Sometimes they sleep the whole day. They don't want to play. They don't want to go out. They don't want to face the outside community. They feel secure or safe in their comfort zone. They don't have the energy to play, to talk, or even to eat. And here are the signs, some signs of bullying, unusually secretive and quiet. So as I told you, the students or the people who face bullying, they lose passion. They don't have the passion to live. They don't have the passion to be a normal child or normal boy or normal girl. So they kept they exclude themselves from the life, and they closed on themselves, and they like to stay by themselves alone, and they always being quiet, they always being secretive, they have things inside but they can't talk about. Appearing oversensitive or weepy or having another outbursts. Sometimes they are oversensitive. Sometimes, yani, for example, if I give one of these students or one of the children who've been bullied for a long time a glass of water without a straw, he could burst out. He could start screaming and shouting and crying, and we can look at him. What are you doing? Why are you overreacted? Nothing happened. It's just a straw. No, it's not about a straw. It's about what's in deep inside this boy or girl, what they are passing through, and they can't talk about because they couldn't find the support and they are afraid. As I said, not sleeping properly. Having physical injuries like bruises, cuts, or scratches, like the incident I told you about, the girl who used to cut her hands and her fingers and her legs. And the problem is that the parents, sometimes, as I told you, the parents, they don't pay attention. They don't care. It's just an injury. It's just a cut. It's just a scratch. Okay, darling. Okay, sweetie, you will be fine. And this is a disaster. Becoming isolated, withdrawn, or losing interest in normal activities. So we can find a boy that he used, for example, to play football, and he was a good player, and he used to participate in different matches, and all of a sudden he refused to go to this to play. He refused to interact or participate in these activities. He's afraid. He doesn't have self-confidence. So we have, when we deal with our students, when we deal with our children, we have to pay attention to their behavior, to their attitude. If we find something abnormal, we have to stop and say, okay, there's something wrong here. Even if we'll find that there is nothing wrong and it's normal, but we have to stop and we have to investigate, we have to search, we have to know what's the reason of the change. We can't leave the changes pass by normally. No, we can't, especially in younger ages or in the for the teens. The teens, it's very dangerous age. We have to focus on them. Okay. Having physical aches and pains like headaches or stomach aches. Okay, it's not related to something physically or for their, it doesn't relate for their health. It relates to their psychological to their psychology. It's according to their psychological phase that they are having pains. Maybe they are healthy, we can take him to the doctor, or we can take her to the doctor, and the doctor said that they are okay, there is nothing wrong with them. Also, we have to stop and pay attention and see what's going on. What's the reason of all these pains? We can't only listen to the doctor. Okay, the doctor, he said that they are okay. Thank God they are okay. You are okay, honey. It's okay. Don't worry. It will be fine. No, we can't say this. We have to stop and see what's wrong. What are they passing through? Receiving more messages than usual via social media. Okay, so they can receive messages, or by the way, they can send messages, or for example, they can post things on the social media like Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. If I find my daughter, her posts are not normal, she's talking or in a way that's different to her. She's always talking about her inner feelings, how frustrated she is, how that she doesn't like the world, she hates the people, she doesn't like to live with others. We have also to pay attention to this. Bullying, as I told you, bullying is a disastrous weapon that can affect all the generations. By the way, I can say that when I was a child, for sure, I have been bullied. But at that time, my parents, they didn't know. The word bullying wasn't familiar at that time. Nobody was acquainted with the bullying. What's bullying? But I remember that sometimes I used to go to my mother and say, this my friend is telling me so and so. My colleague is telling me so. He's teasing me. He is saying bad. And she said, it's okay. You are friends. Play together. Don't be silly. But before, as I told you, we didn't know anything about the word bullying. But now there are many researches about bullying, that there are many associations or organizations which are against bullying. Okay. Now time to engage, and I gave you brief ideas because I know that all of us, we know what's the meaning of bullying and we know everything about bullying, but I want to know if we can discuss or do you have solution to stop bullying? If we have any solution, we can write it on the chat box, okay? For example, in my school, we started to make campaign for bullying, okay, and we started to give our students workshop about bullying. And what we heard from them, it's really serious. Although maybe some students, they are colleagues, they are friends, they like each other's, but in this age, students or children, they feel jealous from each other, even if we are close friends, but we feel jealous. Jealousy is a normal feeling. We can feel jealous from anyone, from anything, and we always want to be better, okay? So we started this campaign, and when we gave workshops to our students, they started to complain from the house, number one, and from the teachers, number two. And this is really a catastrophe, okay? So I told you that parents, they have to focus and pay attention to their children, to their kids. No matter how many kids you have, no matter that you are busy, you are sick, you are tired, you are mentally not right, or you are thinking, or you are, I don't care. Children are number one. Students at home, at school are number one. Sometimes teachers bullied the students, but the problem that they don't know that they are bullying their students. For example, because we have different levels in our classes, we have the gifted or the talented student, we have the weak student or the average student. So when I have a curriculum I have to finish, and I'm overloaded, and I have my HOD, she wanted me to finish, and we have the exams, blah, 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 blah. So what I'm doing, I am stressed, and I am pushing my kids, and I am showing them how stressful I am. So I don't care about my students. I just want to go to the class as a traditional teacher, finishing the curriculum and go out without giving them the chance to talk, without giving them the chance to interact. I have to listen as a teacher. Number one is listening. I have to listen to my students, what they are passing through. So when I enter the class and one of the students, and by the way, it happens in front of me. I had a class visit in one of my classes, and the teacher, one of the students raised
Marwa,
her
can I
hand.
just jump in now? I would like to create some conversation now about what you're talking about.
Yes, sure.
And Samara's going to probably collect some questions. It's a very interesting topic about bullying, but
Yes.
I think, because I do work with teenagers at a high school, and this is such a great way to involve deeper learning, to involve the students in voice and choice, create student agency, let students talk about what they're going through. This is real life experience. And I think that we could use that by just using a driving question and asking the students to create little projects around that.
Yes.
This helps us to deal with their situation. And we as teachers really need to use language, English language, to learn about bullying. Bullying is just one of the things that a lot of the teenagers go through. So, definitely want to use a project-based learning approach to this. And, project-based learning always leads to deeper learning, but it definitely creates voice and choice with the students, student agency, knowledge co-construction, and, helps to get away from that course book learning stuff that we know we have to do sometimes. Because, students want to be involved in their learning. And it's the best way to get them involved is ask them what's going on in their life. And if we notice that bullying is happening, why not bring that into the class and use it as a topic to create great projects with the students? I definitely believe that. I always cover bullying with my students because I think that's a good way to get them involved in language learning, where they get to talk about something that's going on in their life.
I think giving parents workshops as well, it will be very useful for them to deal with their.
That's what we do, but we don't give parents workshops. What we do, if you take a project-based learning approach to the topic of bullying, one of the rules of project-based learning is that the students have to create videos, they have to create some presentations, and we invite the parents to the school on that day when the students are going to be talking about that, and the parents get to hear their own children talking about it, and the children are teaching the parents about it. So this is the best way to handle that. Instead of giving the parents workshops about it, let them listen to their own children talk about it. And that way they get to see how the children are also learning as well. So this gets the parents on board into the, learning process. Yes, Samara wrote, parents refuse to attend workshops, of course, but they will come to school when they want to see their children and what their children are doing. This is the way we use this project-based learning together with topics like bullying to get the parents to school, to get the parents engaged in their own children's learning. When we make little, events like that, I do that at least twice a year at the school that I work at.
It would be very useful, yes.
It's an indirect way, an implicit way of teaching parents what they need to know about bullying by using our children as teachers and not us.
And this will increase the students' self-esteem. They
Definitely.
Will have more self-confidence on themselves when introducing such a thing. Yes.
This is the way that we should be doing that as teachers. So, for those of you who are listening here today, I'm going to put some links in the box for you about what project-based learning is. I did already put some links there for you about the topic of bullying, how to approach that with your children and with teachers, to prevent bullying, because the goal is, it's awareness building is the first thing. And the second thing is, taking action. That's another thing. But also using our students to learn English. That's a good way of doing it with project-based learning. And also getting our parents on board to their children's learning process. I think that's very important. And we can still involve the skills of learning, like speaking and writing and reading, and listening as well, as we guide them through the creation of the bullying project. And we can involve technology in that. The students get to use their creativity. Many teachers don't really want to do project-based learning because they think it's a lot of work, but in actuality, it makes our job easier because we let the students take control of their learning. I know that we have to prepare them for exams as well, but this is just another way to use language. So the topic you're talking about, bullying, there's many other topics that we can work with our young learners about, not just bullying, social media, literacy on the internet, different things that we could
differentiation
do.
But for example, it's a very important topic as well, differentiation, to teach the teachers, or to give the teachers the hints how to apply differentiation in the class.
Definitely. I put my students in groups where we got very good learners and maybe some low-level learners. Project-based learning is a great way to deal with differentiated learning, because we as teachers sometimes get stressed out with differentiated learning. But there's many great approaches to it, and PBL is definitely one way to deal with differentiated learning.
And differentiation helps the teacher to be to get out of the box, not to be a traditional teacher anymore.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree. Sometimes as teachers, we got to get away from predetermined outcomes, and we give them things to do, and we know that all they have to do is look on Google, or all they have to do is look inside the book and they'll find the answers, because we're always just looking for right or wrong answers to certain things, that exercises that we give them. But project-based learning is a great way to overcome those predetermined outcomes and deal with our students' lives and what it's about them. Another project that I like to do with students is my culture, and them talking about their culture and the traditions of their culture and the history of their culture. This is a great way to get students involved. Or also my local community. That's another thing, is what can they tell us about the city they live in? How is that broken down? Those just so many ways to get the students involved. They learn vocabulary, they learn language skills, they learn how to work with one another, they know what teamwork is, and they get to know what project work is, because
and this project-based learning enhanced the different learning styles.
Definitely, because everybody learns differently. Some students are good with technology, some are not. And I try to put them in teams where there's a little bit of skills that everybody has, so that they can feel like they're part of the team.
Blended teams,
Yes, this is very important when we're doing project-based learning. So, I want to thank you very much, Marwa, for your talk.